I really hope that you enjoy this Sugar Skull luxury look. It did take like a bazillion years to finish. I'm just kidding, but it took about 3 hours to finish. Had a lot of fun, but it would still mean the world to me if you guys would like this video, and to share would be super duper awesome. I just really wanted to see how much luxury makeup I could throw into this look here, and even though I've used a lot of pretty pricey products, obviously you don't need to go out and spend this much money to get a beautiful look for Halloween. Please let me know if you guys like this idea of Halloween looks. I do have a couple others in mind, and for now let's just jump right in. Okay, so first we're going in with the Natasha Denona Blackest Black eyeshadow, and I'm just putting little dots around my eyes to kind of mark where the circles are going to go so they're a little bit easier to get even. Honestly, if I had to do this again, first of all, I would use a primer over and underneath my eyelids because it had a little bit of a hard time getting the powder to stick to the dry area under my eyes. Or I would use a cream eyeshadow stick. I wanted to use the eyeshadow because the matteness would make it look blacker than a cream product, but then I had a little bit of trouble with it mixing with my white base, so I don't really recommend doing this method. Okay, so next I'm mixing my Clé de Peau Silky Cream Foundation with the Kat Von D Concealer in white, and also the Cover FX Halo Highlighter drops. And I'm just putting a little bit of extra white concealer on my face here and blending it all in with a beauty blender. Again, if you use the cream eyeshadow method, you can actually do your white base first, which is going to save you a lot of time. You'd be surprised, actually, the whole base with all of the white face makeup and then the black face detailing ended up taking an hour and a half. I just like to do everything the difficult way, I guess. So I'm taking the Clé de Peau concealer brush to get a really precise line around the eyeshadow, and I'm applying a little more concealer over my lips to hide the pigment. Now I'm going in with an eyebrow brush actually to get a really precise line on that black powder eyeshadow. I'm actually going in on my lips with the same eyebrow brush and just kind of patting that on there. You don't have to be super precise with this, just trying to darken it a little bit before we go in and draw mouth lines. And here just try to get them as even as you can on both sides. And I was varying the height of the lines to give it a little bit less regular look. And this kind of feels like The Nightmare Before Christmas with these slanted lines, but I ended up liking it quite a bit. And I'm using the RCMA powder to set the whole face. This stuff is great, but it does give you a little bit of a white cast. And I'm going in with the Estee Lauder Double Wear Lip Pencil in the shade 07 Red. And I'm just lining around my eyes to give a little bit of definition to the look. And then I'm drawing in a kind of floral pattern around the outside of the sockets. You can do any pattern that you like. Just try to get both sides as even as you can. I'm also going in with a kind of star-shaped flower. The lines don't have to be super precise. I'm going into my Cover FX drops in Moonlight and just adding a little bit of that kind of wet gold because I'm going to add a golden eyeshadow over the top and I want to give it something to stick to and really make it pop. And I'm going in using my Natasha Denona Lila palette in the shade Magnolia and just accentuating the gold that we've already put down here. The dampness of the Cover FX drops really gives it something to stick to and adds to that glow. And I'm using the shade Purpure to define that kind of floral line. Okay, I'm going in again with the drops in Moonlight and the shadow in Magnolia for that kind of star pattern, just to make that gold really pop, and tracing again these lines with Purpure. It's much easier with the eyebrow brush. I'm using the shade Amethyst from the Lila palette to add the geometric flower shape between the initial points. And just filling that in with the same eyeshadow. And I added a little iridescence using the Twilight shade from the Huda Beauty palette. And then I went in with Amethyst to accentuate the center of that flower. Moonlight drops in the shade True Gold to make a really intense kind of gold. Also using the Natasha Denona Green Brown palette, I'm mixing the Halo Cover FX drops with the shade Cloudy Blue because I really wanted the iridescence to shine on that blue part of the flower. And taking the Halo drops and Twilight from the Huda palette again, I'm just going in and adding little dots to the floral part around the eyes just to give it a little extra something here. And also taking those dots underneath the eyes as well. Back to the Lila palette, I'm taking the shade Livid on my chin to add a little kind of petal shape, followed by Amethyst, and I added a little gold dot to the center of that petal. Using Viola, I'm going to add some dots around on my forehead. These are a really easy way to make your look a little more decorative. A little bit here with Magentic just to give it a little extra something, and also taking a little bit of that blue from Amethyst. Now I wanted the lower part of of the eyes to pop. So yes, I did use that red lip pencil. I would recommend using a red eye pencil if you have one. And I used the Marc Jacobs mascara in Garnet just on the lower lashes. Taking the Fenty Beauty Trophy Wife highlighter, I'm really dusting that gold shade all over my shoulders, neck, and ears. And I also took it later up into my hair. I hope that this can inspire you to do something kind of fun and crazy for Halloween, and I would love to see whatever looks you guys come up with. And if you want to check out some of my looks, you can find my Instagram here. And by the way, I mean, isn't this just the best costume idea to wear like giant flowers? I feel like a Halloween princess. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial. Please don't forget to like and share with your friends and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope that you all have a wonderful and safe Halloween, and I'll talk to you again really soon. Bye guys.